Six-time All-Star, 2023 NBA MVP, three-time NBA All-Defensive Second Team, two-time scoring champion, the first center since Moses Malone to notch upwards of 30 points per game, while boasting of spectacular statistics like 0 NBA Finals MVP awards, 0 NBA Finals appearances, 0 Conference Finals appearances, and 0 Conference semifinal wins in his 10th season running. Joel Embiid is an anomaly of the highest order, who will perhaps always be counted among other trophyless modern-day marvels like Russell Westbrook and James Harden, but never the likes of LeBron James, Steph Curry, and even Kevin Durant for that matter. But coming fresh off the bat with 2 back-to-back seasons where he has averaged 30.6 and 33.1 points per game, and currently averaging a whopping 36.1 points per game, which has further made to look even more impressive with a 70-point performance against Victor Wembanyama's woeful San Antonio Spurs. The questions still remain quite prominent about Embiid's ability to lead a team to the ultimate glory, an NBA title. Which again begs the question, is Joel Embiid really that guy? Statistics don't lie, and if we look back at just the last playoffs alone and rewind to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference semifinals, one can simply be reminded about how the 76ers lost for the 5th time in 6 years in the semifinals, with Embiid scoring just 15 points in Game 7 with 5 for 8 in shooting. Surprisingly enough, Bleacher Report literally wrote a piece saying that Embiid performs the worst when it matters the most, in which they gave plenty of context, which was then summed up by 2 major stat lines, discussing how Embiid performs while facing elimination versus how he performs when he is not facing elimination. And yes, the results are pretty damn astounding. As per the article, this was the 9th time Embiid has faced elimination in the playoffs. He's now 3 for 6 in those games, with numbers that look nothing like an MVP's. They highlighted his stat lines to show a staggering difference in key metrics like 38.8 field goal percentage in elimination games as opposed to an MVP caliber 50.1% in the regular season, and a shockingly low 25% shooting rate from the three. The doubts have remained not just since 2023, but pretty much since Embiid started coming into his own as a superstar on the roster who has never been short of help, including getting all-star teammates like James Harden, Jimmy Butler, and even Ben Simmons. And to top it off, there's also the narrative that despite being the focal point of his team, he hasn't exuded the confidence of a leader who takes accountability, as evident in this video after the Sixers lost to the Celtics in the 2023 playoffs.
I can't win alone. Me and James, we just can't win alone. That's why basketball is played 5-on-5, so.
And while Embiid has also made it clear that the 65-game requirement for individual awards is something he won't push for.
No, I've already done it. One thing we're not going to do is push for to try to make that requirement.
And the fact that he's willing to chill if the need arises to prioritize the postseason, one would surely be a little suspicious about Embiid's words considering he has scraped past the 65-game mark in the last 2 seasons, playing 68 and 66 respectively. Conversely, if you look at someone like Nikola Jokic, who is not only rioting in the regular season but also the playoffs, and to a point where his team has made winning the NBA Finals look doable for someone who has put in an MVP-level performance in the regular season alone. The comparisons don't hold well for Embiid, who is pushing 30 himself, and his contract isn't doing him or Philadelphia any favors either, especially with his resume having a championship-sized gaping hole in it. Currently earning a little over $47.6 million and tied to the Sixers till 2026 to 27, with a player option that will guarantee him a little over $59 million in his last season if exercised. Embiid's services don't come in cheap, and as it stands, he is not delivering the goods that a franchise like Philadelphia desperately needs, despite his regular season heroics, and yes, we're not discounting his Herculean efforts, including the 70-pointer outing a day before. Well, as it stands, Embiid looks to stay in Philadelphia, and the fans are waiting on him to deliver a title. But if he does leave the franchise without a title, where will he go? And will the franchise be brave enough to not trade him if he continues to fall short of expectations in the playoffs? Have your say in the comments below. And on that note, we come to the end of this video. Do like it if you enjoyed our coverage, subscribe to the channel to join our growing community, let us know in the comments if you think Joel Embiid will deliver a title this season, and we will see you in the next one.